I'm alive, I'm live, I'm alive. I'm live waiting for you to join my life. I'm waiting for the people to join my life. Oh. I said I'm waiting for the people to join my life. Oh yeah. We got 100 people in here in 3 seconds. Hey. I guess we're in here now. Hey, what's up? Hey, how I been? Yes, sir. We in this thing. Look at this sun behind me. It's crazy. It's kind of dope. It's we're about to see the sunset together on live, which is gonna be pretty sick. Costa Rica, what's up? Yeah, Baba Booey. My boy Rich Rose, what's up, man? Best tattoos in SAC. No, that's the squad. That's not just me, that's the squad. Love from Guam. Bro, you all the way in Guam doing tattoos. That's crazy. Join the coaching program. I'll make you the best artist and business person in Guam. I promise you. That would actually be pretty lit. That would actually be pretty dope. We got Bronson Tattoo in the chat. Bronson Tattoo, his work is so good. You guys should check him out too. Oh, Caleb, shit, what's up? You are the truth. Nah, bro, that's you, man. Ink Gang 330. So, yeah, guys, just like last time I went live, I really like hearing questions from you guys because it gives me like something to go off of. A lot of time when I make those short videos, it's me coming up with what I'm gonna say and like something that I wanna touch on, but it's always good sometimes to get some direct questions for you guys, no matter how small or detailed or personal or tattoo-y, whatever. I'm down for all of it, so ask me whatever. Let's see. What projects are you looking forward to doing moving forward? What projects am I looking forward to doing? Well, I mean, the biggest project I'm fucking focused on right now is the coaching and the course program. That's literally all I've been thinking about. The tattooing is cool and it's dope, but it's like the tattooing is what I do to stay steady and keep the ball rolling, but to move the needle forward and really get to that next step in the progression of, you know, what my life is supposed to be about and what my purpose is supposed to be about. We have to get this coaching program going because I'm telling you guys, like, I'm really diving into this, like, teaching and showing you guys what it means to be a well-rounded human that also tattoos. So that's a huge part of it. It's not just about the tattooing. It's not just about the business. It's about just being a fully self-actualized human that just so happens to tattoo. And once you get all those other things in your life dialed in and you really get a good routine and you get a good mindset and a good perspective on life and your business and your skills, then everything else starts to fall into place, and it's way more potent that way, you know? And really, it doesn't matter if you tattoo or you are a barber or you are a construction worker. Having everything else in your life really squared away is gonna give you way more to work from. Your cup is gonna be overflowing so you could pour into other people, and that's the goal for everybody. And until you get to that point and feel that, you'll never know how it feels, but it feels awesome, you know? So that's kind of the goal with all that, man. Been watching for years, tattooing in, yeah, I plan on getting a piece from you. Yeah, dope, let's get a piece going. Arizona, what's up, Arizona? Puerto Rico, man, we got people from all over the place. I can't tell whether I look better right here or right here. What you think, Veer? Are you watching it? Ah, he ain't even watching it, he's gang in here, Dante and this bitch. How can I get a tattoo license? Bro, that's like a basic ass question, and it also depends on what city and state you live in or whatever, but you could literally Google what state you live in and it'll tell you how to get a tattoo license. Most places you got to get your bloodborne pathogen first, and then you have to have a place that is already licensed to be a tattoo shop, and then after that you can get your own personal license under that tattoo shop. That's how it works here anyways. I know it's a little different in other places. It's more lax to other places, really. California is really bad. Martha, I miss you. Yes, I see you. I'm trying to go through these in a row, guys, so it's tough. Have you always been artistic, or is that something you picked up later in life? So I actually like answering this question because a lot of people ask me this. And I like to tell them I wasn't always artistically inclined. Like when I was younger, like before I was 18 years old, I only drew as much as anybody else drew. When I decided I wanted to tattoo is when I started becoming obsessed with the idea of tattooing, the art of tattooing, and then also art in general, drawing, painting, all of that stuff. Once I committed to that, every single day I woke up, I was on the couch doing, 20 drawings a day. I even wrote on little pieces of paper. I had all my family write on pieces of paper and write down different subjects for me to draw. We would put it in a bucket or a hat, and then anytime I needed something to like practice drawing, I would just pull something out of the bucket or the hat, and then I would just have a random thing to try to draw, which kind of mimics the idea of being a tattoo artist, because when you first start out, you're gonna get walk-ins, you're gonna get people wanting random pieces, and you need to be able to be adjustable and just have something ready to go in your mind when they say, oh, I want this specifically with this. If you're kind of good at just like letting it flow out with any idea that you get, it's gonna be way better. So it was actually kind of fun. But no, I wasn't always artistically inclined, but that just goes to show you if you're really motivated and you really want to do this, you could do it. Because I was not born with this. This is not solely God-given. This is not talent. This is hard work beating out talent. And I'm just a very motivated person, so I really got far with that premise. Arm piece cost. Honestly, bro, you should just go to the website, inquire. You're gonna get all the information that you need. You can see it on the website. Plus, you could email and then ask any questions you have, and our assistant will give you any info that you need. If you're really serious about getting a project or something like that, then go ahead and email. You'll get all the info you need. Staying consistent and pulling in new/more clientele. Well, I guess it depends on what stage in your career that you're at. If you're already doing like the type of style you want, or you're trying to get more clients to get the style you want to do, or you don't care about that and you're just doing any style. At the end of the day, if it's really hard for you to get people in based on word of mouth and social media, the best thing you could do is run an ad on Yelp or Google Ads in your local area. You're gonna get a bunch of different types of clients that want different things, so it might not be good for specific styles. But if you're really trying to just get clients in there so that you could prove yourself and get your reps in, that's the best way to go, because you're gonna get a ton of leads that way. And then other than that, I've made videos about how to maximize your return on social media, and that really just comes down to how prolific you are with it, and then you following up with leads or people that were interested in getting tattooed or seemed interested. You got to follow up with them in the DM and make sure they know that you're ready to book them if they want to get booked. So just be prolific, man. It's a job in itself to get the clientele, and then it's a job in itself to get good at tattooing. So take them both seriously. These are some good ones. I'm liking this. This is going good. Hey, if you guys can, if you didn't know, there's a feature where you guys could buy, what are they called, badges? Badges, which is basically tipping the person going live. So that would be awesome if you want to show some love. If you guys tip, I'll for sure answer any question that you got. Yeah, just show some love, man. I'm doing this live for free, so go ahead and tip if you got it. Okay. Guap4 Inc. said, I've been tattooing for 9 months. I'm 23 years old. I've been looking at your work, and I have a question. How can I get that perfect light shade? So a lot of the artists that come and work for me, maybe they've already been doing black and gray for a while, and I think some of the big difference, other than the designing in solid black, is getting that lightest shade, that shade that I call fading to skin. The reason I call it that is it's kind of such a light, finessed shade that it's the shade that you need to take a darker shade to fade out to skin seamlessly, so you don't know where the tone starts or stops, right? What I would say is like I saturate a lot of the grays that I do throughout the piece, and then when it comes down to that lighter shade, I'm very much focused on the pendulum motion to get a very surfacey application to that light shade. And you're dipping in something like a 3-drop. Sometimes I'll go from a 3-drop and dip real quick into a water cap, like really fast though. So it's not like just water. There's some ink in there, but you're really just trying to fade out your lightest tone to something that'll seamlessly fade the skin. So it really just comes down to the finesse of your hand and then also what tone you're dipping in. If the tone you're dipping in feels too dark to get that really light, smooth shade, you could just dip real quick into a water cap, but don't go so light that the skin is just getting red and there's no pigment in there. You really just gotta find your perfect palette, your perfect drop system. I found mine, I've been using my drop system for a long time and it works great. But get down your finesse with your machine and your hand motion, you know? There's a difference between saturating a tone and then finessing a tone in that is more surfacey. Alternative Artistry asks, what would be your advice to an artist whose booking is slowing down? Inquiries have been slowing down for me lately. Well, let me tell you, inquiries for every artist has been slowing down lately. Ever since about last year, right before Christmas, everyone's been having that problem. But I think that's just to counteract that, you're gonna have to overcompensate with how much output you're doing as far as marketing and just, you know, social media and letting people know the days that you have open so they could book those dates specifically. Reaching out to people that have showed interest in booking that you haven't followed up with yet. It's like sometimes the clients will just flood in, especially if you've got a good following, but sometimes it slows down a bit and then it requires more manual application of your time, you know what I mean? So don't be shy to really get in there and it's not like you're trying to seem desperate at all. It's just you're not letting any lead go unchecked, you know? Like you get to get in there and be like, hey, I noticed you commented on my post and you said you would love to get a piece. Just wondering, I have some availability this month. It'd be great to get you in. And depending on what you're pricing them and stuff, you could ask them their budget. You can give them a deal if they book that specific date that you have open. Don't be afraid to give deals and stuff. Or sometimes what my guys here will do would be like, hey, I'll give you a back-to-back session for the price of one. Even if you did like a back-to-back session for the price of one, that way you can get a really dope piece done. You get the tattoo those days and then you get, you know, whatever you charge. They're charging 12 to 15 to 2,000, 2,500 a day. So yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna go through those slow seasons, especially when the economy is the way it is. But we have to be economy proof, bro. We have to really focus on getting to that point where we're not worried about that shit. So sometimes it's gonna take some more manual effort and sometimes it's automatic, but just don't be lazy with it. That's all. All right, moving on. I'm going kind of slow because there's a ton of fucking people giving questions right now. Huge fan if you can review my work, if you could ever review my work. Yeah, if I do another in-depth, I'll review your work, bro. Daytona Beach, Florida here, what's up? What's your favorite preferred needle you like to use on shading? Well, I mean, we use a few different ones. Our mags that we use are 7 curved mag, 13 curved mag, 17 curved mag, and then a 27 curved mag, all from Quadrant. Sometimes we'll bust out that 35 mag, 45 mag if it's a big piece that needs a large area of shading, but generally those are our mags that we use, and then we use like a 5 liner and a 5 round shader. That's our whole setup. That's our whole needle setup right there. My guy, the Massage Messiah. What's up, my guy? It's been a while. Okay, glare from the sun. All right, cool. Fuck, glare from the sun then. It's good. Move my head. What's your favorite ink you love using the most? My favorite ink that I've been using for a long time now is Intense Tattoo Ink, right? Intense is a great company. Love them. I use the Intense dark gray wash to make my washes out of. So I don't use a black to make my washes. I use Intense dark gray wash. And then I'll do a 3-drop, 7-drop, 12-drop, half cap, full cap. And then my black is Super Black from Intense also. But it's watered down about 25% because it comes, a lot of inks come pre-diluted. The Super Black does not. It is a concentrated ink that you have to water down yourself. So that's my whole ink setup. All right, 204 Farkas, I think that's his name. Been dealing with some imposter syndrome, like I'm not good enough to even start looking for an apprenticeship right now. Have you dealt with this? And if so, how can I go about squashing this mindset? So in the very beginning, bro, it's tough, especially you're talking about before your apprenticeship or even getting one. When I got my apprenticeship, I showed up with a portfolio book full of drawings. I didn't even have tattoos in there. Maybe I had like 1 or 2 I did out of the crib, but I showed up with a bunch of random ass drawings. I even had a drawing that was like a tattoo machine with a ribbon, and in the ribbon it said, please apprentice me. And everywhere that I took it, they would look at that drawing. By the time they got to that drawing, they would have a little giggle about it, right? And these weren't like crazy drawings. If anything, they were more tattoo-y style, stuff that you could just tattoo right off of the page. I was trying to draw kind of traditional, but I wasn't really that like well-versed in that type of style yet. I honestly showed up with nothing but my attitude. My attitude. I didn't even show up with machines or anything like that. So when I was approaching these shops, I was really just letting them know, hey, I actually moved to Reno, Nevada to get my apprenticeship. I was like, hey, I came out here, I dropped everything, I dropped my life, I left my machines at home. I didn't want to continue fucking people up out of the crib. I want to learn how to tattoo, and I want to learn how to do it the right way. I'm ready to commit. I'm ready to do it right now. So whatever you need me to do, if you need me to start now, tomorrow, you need me to scrub the floor with a toothbrush, you need me to go run and get lunch for you, I'm fucking down to do it. And then finally I found a spot, and he was like, hey, I'm down, but maybe you should take the day to think about it because it's a big commitment. And I said, absolutely not. I do not need a day to think about it. This is what I came out here for. If you say I'm hired right now, I'll be here at any fucking time you need me here. So yeah, I showed up with not much to my apprenticeship. So the fact that you're tripping on you being not good enough to start your apprenticeship, no one's good enough to start your apprenticeship. It's more about your attitude and your approach to the possible mentor, right? So yes, it's tough. It's tough to try to fill yourself up with these positive affirmations about what you could be and what you're gonna be and what you are and all this stuff when you're first starting out. But you have to like pay your dues when it comes to this shit. So I didn't feel that really good feeling about tattooing for a long time, bro. I just knew I had to stay the course and stay committed and have tunnel vision around that time. So you just need to keep tunnel vision, stay focused. Don't let how you feel on a day-to-day basis sway you whether you should or shouldn't do this. You should just have a plan, like, I want to do this, I'm gonna do this, and no matter how you feel on a day-to-day basis, you're just gonna get done what you have to get done. If you have to go pop up at these shops today to try to ask for an apprenticeship, whether you woke up that day feeling bad about yourself or not, you need to show up to those shops anyway and just do your thing. Because the more you put in, the more output you put in, the quicker you're gonna get the apprenticeship, and then the quicker you're gonna get to that good feeling that tattoo gives you when you feel that progress. Dude, there's a lot of people, man. Okay. Yo, Unsaid, will you ever do one-on-one coaching for business? 100%, yes. I want all of you guys to know that I haven't even been focusing on tattooing really like that. I've been focusing on getting this coaching program going and these courses going. And not for any other reason besides I feel like I have a lot of value to give. There's not a lot of people out there teaching the business side of tattooing, and I feel like I could really help a lot of you get through some of the barriers that you have in your businesses, or just you as an individual artist or person. A lot of this stuff, of course, it's gonna cover business and tattooing and designing, but a lot of this stuff is gonna be your mindset around tattooing and your approach to life itself, because how you approach life and your mindset and your perspective on life is really gonna shape how you approach any profession or job. So a part of that is gonna be that too. My one-on-one coaching is gonna be a transformative experience. It's gonna be 3 months long. We're gonna have one-on-ones, we're gonna have group talks, we're gonna have open dialogue and group chats, and we're gonna have exclusive content for you guys. 100% I'm doing it, but I wanna do it right. So we're actually getting it all put together now, and when it drops, 100% I'll send you a link and said, of course you're gonna wanna do it, and I hope a lot of you take part in it as well, because I'm putting my heart and soul into this, and I can't wait for you guys to see what I have to offer. Moving on. Thank you guys for the tips. I see you guys tipping. Love you guys. Ryan Ramirez Tattoo asks, what do you consider if you definitely need to leave/move to another shop? I guess the only thing you need to consider is where you're gonna go after you leave that shop. Because if you know for sure it's a toxic environment or it's some place that you've kind of maxed out your learning potential and you know you need to leave, there's nothing to think about. You need to leave, right? Don't let someone else's feelings about when you're gonna leave and all that stuff stop you from making the changes you need in your life, because you know you need to make that change. My only thing is, don't downgrade. If you're gonna go somewhere else, try to find some place that you could really thrive at, because you don't wanna be shop hopping and just leaving this shop, going to here, leaving that shop, you get fired here, you quit here. No, if you're gonna make the leap into something that's higher up, somewhere you can stay for a while and really absorb a lot of information. There's a lot of really famous shops that do really good work that you'd be surprised if you put the effort towards like trying to get a job at those shops, you might. There's a possibility. And if you do, you're gonna be so juiced to be at one of those shops, and it's gonna help you learn a lot. But if you can't get to one of those shops, there's always really good artists. You should follow artists that you like, maybe in your area, and you know they're really good. And what shop do they work at? Why not ask them? Go pop up in there. Get a tattoo by someone that works in there, and then let them know your situation. And you get to start the dialogue. You get to start talking and stuff. And maybe you guys get into a conversation that leads to that artist telling the owner of the shop, or maybe you're getting tattooed by the owner of the shop, and you're kind of planting seeds that in the future will grow, and maybe one day they hit you up, or maybe you follow through or follow up with your conversation. There's just plenty of ways to do it. Just make sure that where you're going is a level above where you're already at. Rufus Arts asked, any idea when you're going to start online courses? It's happening right now, guys. We're getting it all put together. I'm doing all the hard work about writing it all out and really defining what the value is that we're giving. It's a lot of preparation, but once it's done, and I don't got to do anything but talk to you guys one-on-one and help you guys along the way. It's dropping, guys. It's all I'm focused on. This is the only thing I really want to do right now is focus on these courses and coaching, and 100% you guys will know when it drops, and it's going to be soon. J-Lix Tattoos says, money follows the passion. You got to just dive in and be willing to put in that work. That's right. That's right. For a long time in my career, I focused on only tattooing. I didn't focus on how much money I was making. And I know a lot of you say like, oh, I got bills, I got to do that. I had bills too. I was broke as shit. I was taking the light rail, which is our public transportation here in Sacramento. I was taking the light rail to work every day, making no money. If I got a walk-in, maybe I'd get a walk-in. It would be tough because I wasn't even that good at tattooing at that time. So really I was just focusing on getting my reps in. And then when a walk-in came, it's tight because I get my rep in and then I get some money, but at the same time it was so nerve-wracking because it's so hard to tattoo when you're not good at tattooing yet. Because it's just mentally, it's hard, right? But I've put in the hard work that comes along with working in a shop that has walk-ins and appointments, and the sheer volume that you have to do, the tattoos you got to do for like minimal money or like a shop minimum and all that stuff. I blindfolded myself and didn't think about the money for a long time before I started actually trying to value my work. And really, I didn't start valuing my work until maybe 5 years ago or something like that. I'm about 11, 12 years into tattooing. So yeah, you really got to put blinders on. The money will follow the passion. The more you put into it, and if you want to get to the money quicker, all you got to do is learn faster. Find a mentor, find someone to give you tips, or sign up for our coaching program when it drops. That'll teach you all about the life, business, and technicalities of tattooing. And you're going to become a new archetype in tattooing that hasn't existed in the industry yet. Someone who is self-actualized and well-rounded in life so that they could approach tattooing in a holistic way. It's just going to be a different squad we create, guys. Like through this whole group that we're going to bring on for the coaching and all that, you guys are all going to become the new type of tattoo artist that needs to become the new standard in the industry. I'm just so excited for it, guys. All right, moving on. Thank you for the tips, by the way. The last two that actually the last three questions I answered, they tipped. So shout out to them. Yes, okay. Cali Style 415 says, what makes you great is your hard work and your mindset. Your talent came over time, but that's what makes you one of the GOATs. You're showing love to everyone under you. 100%. And that's why I keep telling you guys the mindset behind it is more important than the talent, because you're going to be able to develop the talent through hard work and just pulling your shit apart and just understanding what you need to get better at. And that's all doable for anybody. But really, setting the mindset is going to be the biggest difference maker in your life, right? So, and as far as me showing love to everyone under me, when I was coming up, it was a hard road, very depressing, and I wasn't really getting anywhere fast. I had to work really hard to make those leaps and bounds. But now that I'm in this position, I really want to be that person for other people to help them skyrocket. I promise you, if you did the 3-month coaching program, you're going to be a transformed person, artist, all around, or business owner, all around. I'm gonna help you guys transform quickly. Like, get rid of all of the mistakes I made, get rid of all of the bumps in the road. You don't gotta go through that. Let's talk it out. Let's figure out what your situation is and what situation you wanna be in, and we're gonna get there fast. So I'm super excited about it, guys. Can't stop talking about it, it's crazy. And thank you very much, Cali Style 415. Moving on. Philly in the building too, and they tipped Art and Equity. Everyone go check out Art and Equity. Philly in the building. Scott B Tattoos says, I need that one-on-one. Yes, bro, 100%. I got you. When it drops, matter of fact, we're probably gonna create a waiting list so that I know who is really interested and ready to sign up, because I want to hit you guys first and probably give you guys discounts on it and everything. But the first group that comes in, I'm only going to take a certain amount of people, and I want you guys to be the first testimonials about this program, about how much it really helps you guys, because I know it will, but I want other people to hear it from you guys. So I'll set up that, Veer, can we set up a waiting list thing, like a list where they could put their email and we could email them when the course drops? Yeah, so we're going to do that, guys. We'll probably put it on the website, or we'll drop a link or something. But if you guys are really interested in the courses or the coaching, get on the waiting list, and you might just get a huge discount for doing so. Cali Style 415 again says, there's not a lot of people teaching the mindset like you are. I've done several mentorships and programs, but the mindset came from your videos. Yes, this is what I'm getting at, guys. It's almost like I have to convince some people that the mindset is the biggest part of this entire thing, because I'm not where I'm at today just because I could tattoo. There's people that I consider that are better than me at tattooing, even in my style. Or I have my own style, but in black and gray, right? But really what sets it apart is your mindset and your approach to life in general. And I want you guys to really connect with that, and how much that will affect your personal life, your relationships, and how well you do your profession or job. I'm telling you, it's everything. It's everything. Unset Inc. again, really looking forward to when this comes out. Appreciate all your efforts in changing the game here. You know we love you, China. You know we do. 100%. I'm going to keep doing this content. We're going to keep evolving. Mind you, we just started this type of content, guys. Like, we're getting better at structuring it, what I talk about, how I connect with you guys. Like, we just started doing the lives, and I really like the lives. We're just going to get better. I'm going to get better at speaking and explaining to you. We're just going to get better over time. So I want you guys to grow with us. And it's just a fun thing to do, man. It's really given me a whole new purpose in life. And I just love you guys, man. Moving on. Little Horror Tattoos says, any advice for apprentices out there who are going through a rough apprenticeship? Rough as in mentors not teaching them properly. Well, that's really hard for me to gauge, man, because depending on what type of mentorship you have or apprenticeship, some mentors are really old school in their approach. And the old school approach is to break you down, break down your ego, break down everything you thought you knew so that they could build you up again. There are plenty of situations where mentors have just used apprenticeships as free work. So they have them doing all this bullshit. They're not really teaching them how to tattoo, and they're just using the free work, and then you just never really get to the tattooing part because they're so used to you just working for free. What I would say is there is a time that you pay your dues and put in the work, because really what you're learning how to do is work in a tattoo shop, not necessarily tattoo. So in my apprenticeship, I never tattooed. I was learning how to work in a tattoo shop. So I was like booking appointments, I was cleaning, I was scrubbing tubes, I was setting up stations, breaking down stations, all of that grunt work stuff. But that really taught me how to be in the environment of a tattoo shop. Because if the first time I worked in a tattoo shop was after I started tattooing, I wouldn't even know how to be in the environment of a shop. So the only way you could learn that is by working as, I guess, a gopher or a manager or that type of thing, right? But if you go a year in, 2 years in, and they still haven't taught you anything about tattooing, you can reconsider or just communicate with your mentors and see where their mind is at. If they feel like you're just not ready, then you need to have them explain to you what you need to get better at, whether it's your character, how you approach things, and just how you're doing your job. And if it's stuff that you could actually improve on, then just try to improve on those things first. If they're just bullshitting you and they're just pieces of shit, yeah, 100%, you need to find another situation. Don't be scared to do that. But just really take a hard look in the mirror first before you do all that, because the problem could be you or it could be them. But it could be you. Ink Everything said, what's the best cereal? An actual cereal? Cinnamon Toast Crunch, probably. I don't eat a lot of it anymore because I'm trying to eat healthy and stuff and stay on my shit, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch, very much so. I'm sure a lot of people would agree. Moving on. It's a little hot in here. I'm like sweating a little bit. It's a warm day here in Sacramento. Look at that beautiful sun that's going down. Can't even see it no more. Sunset's gonna be great. Ali Inc. asks, when are your courses coming out? The only reason I'm answering this over and over again for people, and they keep asking the same questions, because I want all of you to hear it. Courses are coming out soon. Coaching is coming out soon. It's the only thing I'm thinking about, and you will know when it drops. It'll be obvious. I'll fucking blast it everywhere. And you could join my waiting list that we're going to drop here soon, so that you get the first notification when it drops. So don't worry about it. I got you. Fuck. Zach Ashton Tattoo asks, gonna be in New York, homie. Would love to chop it up. Love from Alabama. Bro, we were supposed to go to New York Empire State, but we didn't have a booth there. And when it came down to booking the hotels and just going out there, a lot of the guys didn't want to just spend that money for no reason. We were going to go and try to enter some contests, and we were going to chop it up with some people. But at the end of the day, everyone just wanted to like keep working and doing their thing and stuff. We will definitely be at Golden State in Pasadena in September, though. So if you're going to that one as well, which is basically the same show as Empire State, it's just in California, you should go to that one, bro, and then come up to our booth. I'll chop it up with you about whatever you want. So, moving on. Moving along. Greetings from One Love Charity Foundation. Awesome. Greetings. I don't know what your charity foundation is for, but any charity is good charity. Well, I'm sure yours is. Let's see. Ask some questions, guys. Ask some questions. We're getting more questions. I'm going to answer everything. Okay, Mandy326 asks, will it be coaching for tattooing strictly or like life coaching? So the more I learn about coaching in general, and a lot of the mentors I might have in the space or books I've read, it could be tattooing, but it's going to turn into life coaching. This is going to cover a bunch of different bases, guys. Like, we're going to go in order. We're going to make sure your life is all structured the way you need it to be. You're going to have enough balance in your life. It's definitely going to be huge on the mindset and just how you approach each day with your perspective and your routine. Then it's going to get into the business side of tattooing. Then it's going to get into the technical side of tattooing, like the actual application and the designing. But we got to run you through that first part first, because all coaching is life coaching, no matter what you're teaching, because it's always going to come down to those things. And I really want to help you guys structure your life to where you're happy, not only good at tattooing, but you're happy. which is really what real success is. Because I can teach you how to tattoo and all that, but you're still just gonna feel burnt out. You're gonna feel like lethargic every day. You're just not gonna be feeling it. You're gonna have imposter syndrome all the time, but you're good at tattooing. But in actuality, the only reason you get burnt out on tattooing is because of how you're living the other parts of your life. So a huge part of it, I'd say more than 50% of it is going to be how you structure your life, and then we'll get into the tattooing part. It's a very transformative program, okay? This is not amateur stuff. This is not small things. This is creating an entire ecosystem of new archetypes of artists that doesn't exist yet. We are creating a new type of artist that is positive, it is kind, they are fully actualized, they have a good understanding about how they want to live their lives and structure it and balance it. They got family, they got kids, they got the shop, they got tattooing, and we're gonna find the perfect balance for that, for you to be happy and successful in all areas of your life, including fitness, nutrition, all of it, guys, all of it. So, yes. Moving on, moving on, moving on. Tattoo Nick, thank you for the tip. Moving on, moving on, moving on. Jalix Tattoos, thanks for the tip, said, I'd definitely be interested. Been following you for the last 5 years or so and milk every bit of knowledge. To have a one-on-one would be awesome. Yes, so you guys need to understand the videos I make are very bite-sized and very small pieces of information compared to what I can get to you on a one-on-one or even a group call, because a lot of this stuff is going to be group calls too, which I think is going to help create a lot of dialogue in a group, because you know some people are going to ask questions that the other person didn't think they wanted to ask, and then they get an answer. They're going to get more out of it, right? But there's so much in-depth information I have that I can give you that is so hard to get across in just a video I post on Instagram. So once we get really in-depth, really specific to what your life and career situation is, I can really dive in and help you get specific, actionable information for you to take action. It's not just motivational bullshit, right? This is stuff you could take action on right when you get the info, and it's going to help change your life immediately. So 100%, guys, 100%. I'm glad you guys are excited because I'm excited too. Ink Factory Tattoo Studio, thank you for buying a badge. Yeah, okay, for sure. Shout out to Ink Factory Tattoo Studio in Dallas, Texas. You guys should go find their page. It's in the chat, but it's ink.factory.tattoo.studio. Check them out. They're in Dallas, Texas. Sir Jeremiah said, love your work. Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate it. Moving on, moving on, moving on. I got a Brazil flag in here. Holy shit. Rufus Arts, thank you for the tip, man. Said, put me on the waiting list, please. And you gave your email. Okay, so 100% I'll put you on the waiting list. We're going to drop the submit for the waiting list. And then once I do that, you can go ahead and submit your email there. But 100% you can get on there. You just got to look out for when we drop it. We'll probably drop it in the next couple days. Let's see. Mainz Inc. Oh wait, Manish Inc. Oh, Manish. I apologize. It's hard to read some of these, man. Manish Inc. said, "You're my mentor. ... All I ever dreamed is to work under you, even if it is to learn. Learn to be what I want. I want what I want. But no, in my country, I stand out. Man, the chat keeps fucking up. Stand out to be something. But I know what you do, man. You are so good." Okay. I know I read that hard, but it was like typed a little weird. I'm assuming that you're in a different country by the way you're stating this. Yeah, it does stand out to be something. Yes, 100%, bro. If you're in a different country and you feel like you can stand out where you're from, yes, 100% you can. You just got to develop all of those traits that make someone inspiring to other people. And that's what the program is really going to be about, is like helping you get to the point where you can teach other people. Because once you start teaching people, it opens up a whole new part of your life that you didn't think was going to be possible. And you actually start learning a lot more when you teach people, because it's stuff that you've never articulated out loud to yourself. So when you start teaching somebody stuff that you know, you have a different sense of fulfillment, plus you cement it in your mind as something that you know forever. So the goal is to get you guys to become inspiring to other people. I want to inspire you to become inspiring. That is the goal. But thank you, my man. I appreciate it. And if you're down for the coaching and stuff, I'd be honored to mentor you. Moving on. Cold World asks, how do I manage a busy schedule and lifestyle outside of tattooing? Yeah, so, man, this is obviously specific to your situation, and everyone has their own specific situation. All the more reason this one-on-one or group coaching is going to be so potent, because I get to take your specific situation. You can lay out for me what it is your responsibilities are, things that are unnegotiable, things that are negotiable, where you can fit in your workouts and where you can't, and all of these things. And we'll help structure your life in a way that allows you to breathe a little bit, have balance, you know, not feel like you're overcompensating in one area of your life just for the other area of life to just go down the drain. Because if you're living like that, you're always going to get to a point where you're burnt out and you just don't want to live that type of life anymore. And once you're so used to living that type of life, it's hard to break out of, because you're going to feel stuck. You're going to have a lot of mental barriers. So most of the time, you're going to need someone to help break you out. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to help break you out of that monotonous day-to-day bullshit grind of just way too busy and you can't get the important things done. And you feel like you're missing out on the most important things in life. So a big part of that, yes, that's what I'm here to do. Rufus Arts asks, do you recommend doing appointments only? It depends on where you're at in your career, man. If you're still trying to build your clientele, walk-ins will really help fill in those gaps. But I always tell artists that if you want to be able to structure your life the way you want it and have balance and have a little say-so in how your schedule is, you need to work towards being appointment only. That way you could structure your day. What days do you book? What days do you not book? Maybe this week you wanted to go do this thing, so you're going to book these days instead. Or maybe you just want to know what days you're going to work ahead of time so you could plan your life around it. And you're going to know how much money you're going to expect out of the month so that you could have like reliable money. A lot of people that rely on walk-ins, they don't know if they're going to make $100 that day, no money that day, or $1,000 that day. And I don't like working like that. I like knowing what I'm going to get, and I like that type of structure, because when you're living on walk-ins in that kind of sporadic pirate fucking way, there's just no, it feels like you're just dealing drugs on the corner or something. You're just slanging tats, and I don't like doing that. I want to be taken seriously. I want my time to be taken seriously. So that's why you need to book time with me, which is basically appointment only. So you got to work your way to it, man. But if you got enough clientele, start booking them appointments. If you could book out a month plus, you're good, bro. Just keep trying to book it out as the days go on, and then you'll never have to worry about it again. This is a good question. Cold World again asks, if you're a tattoo artist that has multiple crafts like painting, cooking, filmmaking, would it be logical to make multiple accounts or keep it all under one account? So this is tough, man, because I'm not trying to tell you not to do your hobbies or your passions and stuff, but it depends on where you're at. Like, if you really want to be really good in one of those things, you're going to have to kind of focus on one of them. Tattooing is not one of those things you could do part-time and then become really good and make good money and have good structure in your life. You really got to like focus on it. So if you're doing all these other things, it's kind of tough, man. After you get to a steady place in tattooing where you're booked out, you're doing really good work that people love, you don't got to worry about your appointments, then you could figure out where you want to fit your hobbies in, because that's going to help you feel like your life isn't so narrow. But that's after you pay your dues and put in the work. So I think you're really going to have to decide which one of those things are your true passion so that you could pursue that and make it something that feeds your lifestyle and stuff like that. Then you can start doing your hobbies and stuff. As far as the multiple accounts thing, man, I'm always a big fan of only having one account, but you had a lot of things going on there, man. I don't know. People might get confused, and I don't think any of your content is going to catch if it's all so sporadic like that and there's too many things. So just pick which one that you feel like is mostly your passion, and then put your time and effort into that for now. Manishink again asks, if I'm a tattoo artist in a country that we are not recognized in any convention, but all we dream of is to be there, dude, I think you just need to move. I mean, if it's really that bad and like you feel like it's tough, like maybe even your culture doesn't even like tattooing like that, or it's like hard to get anybody to take you serious in your country, you might need to just move, bro. You need to move. Oh, you're from Kenya. Okay, bring Kenya to believe in tattoo artists. So here's the thing. I'm all about staying where you're from to try to make it there. But to get the type of skills and understanding of tattooing that you need to probably move. You need to go to where the people that are going to mentor you are at, or just sign up for our online coaching. And then you can come back to Kenya and create a super dope shop where you're teaching young Kenyans how to tattoo and do it the right way. Do it at a high quality. How to tattoo dark skin in a way that pops like crazy. And then bring that type of understanding of tattooing back. Then you could really make the biggest impact. You're not going to make any impact in your country if you just can't get better, you can't get clients, you can't. Before you help anybody, you have to help yourself. So to help yourself, you might just need to move, my boy. Let's see. There's a lot going on. I'm trying to find out what's going on. Creative Tattoo asks, the best vegan ink. From what I understand, bro, all of the main ink companies, their ink is vegan. So, you know, Intense, their ink is vegan. I'm sure Fusion is vegan. I'm sure Dynamic is vegan. All of that. There was a new standard for tattoo ink that happened, especially after all of the scare about like the toxic ink and stuff like that. They want you to know that their ink is safe and it's vegan friendly and all of the above. So most of them will say vegan on the front. Manish Ink, do not give up. I hear you. You will not give up. Do not give up, my boy. You got this. B Inked asks, when you are doing a black and gray tattoo, are you just saturating the area and you know that it will heal a certain tone, or are you building up the tones? If it's a darker tone, I'm saturating the tone and I know how it will heal because I've seen a lot of my own work healed. So I know if I am going in, that's why a drop system is so important. If I know I'm going to saturate this area with a 12 drop, I know what that 12 drop is going to look like when it's healed. So I don't have to build it up because all I know is I need it to be that tone. Now when you start blending tones out, or you're blending out the skin in a really smooth way, then you might have to build up a little bit when it comes to your lighter tones. But for the most part, when it comes to the darker tones, I'm committing to the saturation and then I'm moving on. You know what's funny, guys, is I damn near got to take a piss real quick. I've been drinking a lot of water. You know, you got to get a lot of water in. I'm trying to get 8 bottles of water a day, 5 solid meals a day with snacks in between, probably about 35 to 4,000 calories, and that's my program I'm on. But it makes me want to pee all the fucking time. So I'm going to see how many of you guys are real ones. I'm going to go take a piss real quick, and if I get back and you're still here, you're a real one, okay? I'll be right back, okay? 2 seconds. Watch. Art and Equity, thank you for the other badge. Oh, you bought multiple badges. Thank you so much. Okay, Burgess Inc. Burgess or Burgess? I don't know. Do you recommend gray wash? Do you recommend pre-made wash sets or a drop system? I guess it just depends on what ink company you're going with. Like I said, I make my washes out of Intense Dark Gray Wash, and I do my own drop system, but 100% the consistency of a pre-made wash set is super dope because you don't have to guess or accidentally put a couple drops different, or maybe you put a little more water in this cap than you did last time, so it's a little bit of a different tone. The consistency of the tones is a big deal, so it just depends on what ink you like, man. But pre-made wash sets are definitely dope, or if you can get really consistent and really down on your drop system, that works too. Melissa, thank you for the badge. I know you're a fucking supporter. I see you all the time commenting. Thank you for commenting all the time. To all of you guys that comment on the posts all the time, They don't go unseen. I try to comment back to all of them, but I'm always going to be thankful. Even if you've commented on 10 videos, if you comment on the 11th video and the 12th, I'm always going to be super grateful for. So thank you guys for keeping the conversations going in the comments, because I feel like the videos that I make are just the start of a conversation that can be had in the comments, because I know a lot of you like to conversate amongst each other. So thank you guys so much for the support in that way. Have you, Johnny Moda asked, have you tried Empire Ink Gray Wash Set? Yes, 100%. I was actually going to get a sponsorship from Empire earlier in my career, but it ended up falling through. I love Empire's ink. I'm not going to lie. I love them as a company. They're one of those like forward-thinking companies that are trying to do new things that involve really good artists. And yeah, I think they're a great ink. If I wasn't using Intens and I didn't love them so much, 100%, I would be using Empire. And I've actually used Empire on some of my pieces you see on my Instagram just to play around with it. So yeah, I love Empire, man. A great, great company. Michan Garo Tattoos asks, what do you think about the Bishop wand with the critical battery? That's what we use, man. We use the fucking Bishop wand packer. It's our favorite machine. It's a great all-around machine. The critical battery, you know, they came out with the power wand, right? Which is basically the collaboration with Critical and Bishop, and they made a battery that is, it fits only the Bishop wand with a magnetic connection, which is super dope. That's the one that I use. I love it. I love it. It's one of the best combinations of battery and machine that has ever existed. So if you guys are using that machine, you shouldn't have any problems, and you could learn how to do your tattoos better just from the equipment you already have. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. Art and Equity said, heading out, bro, but I definitely appreciate the knowledge and good looking on that shout out too. Yes, another shout out for Art and Equity. Thank you so much for the badges and for participating. He's from Philly, guys. Moving on, moving on. Moving on. Okay, this is a good one. Burgess, I hope I'm saying that right. How would you recommend informing your clientele about raising your prices? Yeah, man, so what we do is if I have a client that is at an old rate, and let's say I'm working on his sleeve. I started his sleeve at, let's say, $1,500, right? And then I was raising my prices to $2,000. So what our policy is for any new clients that book that I haven't tattooed yet, they're gonna be at $2,000. For the people that are at my old rate, let's say $1,500, for example, I will finish their project that I started. So let's say their sleeve. I will finish their sleeve at $1,500 per session, and then after they want to start a new project, then we'll bring them up to the new rate. And that's really how it's done. If a client that you haven't tattooed in a very long time is at a very old rate, like let's say you tattooed someone at like $1,000 a day, but now you charge $3,000 a day, and they haven't gotten tattooed in, let's say, like 2.5 years, they would have to come up to at least, you know, at least 1,500 or something like that, because 1,000 is just ridiculous. They would understand that a lot has happened since the last time they got tattooed. But if it's someone that's been getting tattooed by you consistently, you have to show them the love of not raising the rates on them like that. They want to finish their project with you, but if you raise the rates, well, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And you can't just kind of be greedy expecting them just to drop everything and just drop another $1,000 on you a day just because you decided to. You know, you just want to make sure that you're taking care of your clients and you're being fair with them and just communicating with them. That's all. Yeah, Martha, Mama came and met me at my old shop that I was working at, and we got to take that picture, and it was really good seeing her. But even that was a while ago, so it'd be dope to see you guys again. Martha is a childhood friend, grew up in the same neighborhood and stuff. I haven't seen her family in a long time, so that's who's in the chat too. Johnny Modus asked, how does Intense Gray Wash ink heal compared to other inks like Dynamic or Empire? That's up to you to decipher, because all you got to do is you can either look at other people's work that use those inks and then see what it looks like healed, or you could do it yourself. You're studying your healed work and looking at the specific tones that you used in certain areas is going to be a huge difference maker, because what you're trying to do is figure out what aesthetic that you like. And after we were trying to experiment with different inks, the only inks that I really like the aesthetic of and they heal really nice and they heal true to tone was Intense and Empire. I used to use Dynamic all the time just like anybody else, and there's a lot of great artists that use Dynamic, but personally I don't like using Dynamic anymore. I just don't like the aesthetic of how it heals. So yeah, you just got to do it yourself, man, really. It's like research and development when it comes to what you want to use. So that takes effort as well. How long have we been doing this for? Fuck.
You didn't say that? I think an hour now.
It's been an hour? Okay, we'll do a little bit more, and then we're gonna call it. I don't want these to last for too long and you guys get a little greedy. No, I'm just kidding. I know a lot of you guys have bought badges already, but if you want a tip and buy some badges, that'd be awesome. I'm doing this live for free and giving you guys free games. So if you guys can, drop that tip and I'll give you a shout out as well.
What do you think having them join your subscription?
Yeah, so we've been thinking about doing the subscription option that they have on Instagram, where you guys pay a tiny bit each month to be a part of a group that it gets exclusive content. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. I will create exclusive content to drop only to my subscribers, and maybe you guys get first notice on different things that we drop, like courses and coaching. Maybe you get discounts. Just being a part of the fam that gets all of the all that good shit, you know. There's all the free content we make, but there's plenty of info that we can give to people that pay just a little bit. So if you can't afford the courses, you can't afford the coaching, you'd be able to afford the subscription model. So let us know if you want that, because we'll drop that. And if you guys want to do it, sign up. Burgess Inc. again asked, hourly rate versus half-day rates. Hourly rate versus half-day / day rates, pros and cons of each. So I really do not like the hourly rate thing. And I know that is like so ingrained into the tattoo industry about like counting the tattoo time, and then that's how you gauge how much you're going to charge the person. But there's so much room for argument when it comes to that. Like, okay, when you take a break, when you take lunch, that client is freaking out about how long you're taking because they think that you're going to charge them for that time. And it's just too hard to keep track of. And it's like some tattoos take longer than others, but it's not about size. It's more about the detail. You want to take your time. So really half-day rates and day rates kind of round it up to how long you think it's going to take. So maybe you were going to charge someone for a few hours and you were literally going to count it, like put a stopwatch on, and then once it stops, that's how much you were going to charge them. It's much better that the client knows how much it's going to cost ahead of time without you having to, I don't know, maybe it'll be this, maybe it'll be that. So you're basically just rounding up. So a half day would be anywhere from like 3 hours, you know, 2 to 4 hours, and a full day would be 6 to 10. And for us, we do day rates, and all of our sessions, they either go from about 8 hours to even 12 hours. So even if the tattoo takes a lot longer, I'm still not going to charge you more because you paid for the day. But that also means if I get done in 8 hours and instead of 10, I'm not going to charge you less either. It's just you get me for the day. How much we get done in that day is going to be enough. It's going to be the proper amount. I'm not like cheap when it comes to the value I give. I know that people save a lot of money to get tattooed. So once they book that appointment, they come in for the work. I'm going to give you as much of my effort as I possibly can within that time frame, about, you know, 8 to 10 to 12 hours, including setup and including all that stuff. So yeah, man, half day, full day is way more fair and manageable for both the artists and the client. All right, moving on. Let's get a couple more in. Let's get a couple more in. B Inked asked, what are you guys running your Bishop wand packers at? I've heard that with the longer stroke, they work a little bit better at a lower voltage. Yeah, so your voltage is kind of going to be more about your hand speed, what you're comfortable with and all that. But when it comes to the Bishop wand packer, I wouldn't go above like 8 volts. What I run mine at all the time is about 7 to 7.5. And then sometimes in a special occasion, I'll drop it down to like 6. But that's super rare, and that's only if I'm trying to get a certain effect or I'm in an area that's super sensitive skin and I don't want to overwork it. But 7 to 7.5 seems to be the sweet spot for the Bishop wand packer. And you can go up or down slightly depending on how your hand speed is. But anything over 8 volts is going to hurt like a motherfucker to the client, because it's fucking painful to get tattooed at 9 volts with the Bishop wand packer. It's a hard-hitting machine. All right, let's do 2 more, guys. Let's do 2 more. I want some good ones though. Give me some good ones, guys, because any of the good questions that I answer are gonna go on the Instagram, because I want everyone to get the value out of the good questions and stuff. So if you got a good question, go ahead and shoot it. I'm gonna take 2 more questions. Ink by Tone asks, will you ever do a live of you just doing a tattoo from start to finish with no video edit? Yes, Ink by Tone, I will do that, but I think that sounds like something that would be good for subscribers that subscribe to the Instagram, more exclusive content. I want to go live in there and show more detailed stuff, right? So I don't want to just do that just for anybody. I want the people that are serious to be able to join that live and really conversate with me while I'm tattooing. And the people that are serious will pay that little monthly subscription fee and be a part of the group. So yeah, I'll do it, but it's going to be for the subscription model. Alternative Artistry asks, how long did it take you to feel like you got good at tattooing? I'm a year in and get frustrated with my progress. Well, a year in is very early, and I didn't get any sense of confidence in myself for a very long time, maybe, honestly, maybe 7, 8 years in. You gotta think, I lived a very humble lifestyle when it came to paying my dues and getting my reps in when it comes to tattooing and figuring it out, and not just being a mediocre artist, but figuring out what it takes to be an extraordinary artist. Looking at those guys that are doing pieces that are just mind-blowing and figuring out what are they doing with their hand and their machine that is so different than mine to get that effect. You got to think, these guys aren't using anything different than what you're using. You could buy the same machine as someone, and really what you're trying to do is find out what are the subtle changes that I need to make in my approach to get the same effect as those guys that are getting amazing effects done, right? So it's like, you really want to focus, live humbly, focus on what you need to get better at. When you get good, you'll know you're good. You're not trying to just, I never tried to convince myself I was good. I just worked and got better until I guess it was just obvious. Not me like tooting my own horn or anything like that. It's just, it gets to a point where it's obvious and you don't got to say it. Other people will tell you. But even at a early time in your career, people will tell you that you're the best they've ever seen. I don't want you to let that get to your head. A lot of people are easily impressed when it comes to tattoos, and they'll get to the point where they're trying to pump your head up. You can let it feed you a little bit, but don't let it pump you up in a way that lets you think, wow, I've made it, I'm there, I'm already good enough because everyone is telling me I'm good. That's not a good metric. Really what you want to do is get around really good artists that are really transparent, and then once you do that, they'll let you know what you need to work on a daily basis, and you're going to be able to put out consistent good work and consistently make changes in your work that allow you to get the best effect that you want, right? So I know it's tough because that's why tattooing is so tough, man, because it's so soul crushing when you don't know what you're doing or you feel like you want to be better, but you're just not doing the type of work you want to do. It's soul crushing. Trust me, I've been there and done that, but that's why I'm here. able to speak to you guys in this way because I've been through the ringer. I've been through the worst of it, and I made it out on the other side to be happy and kind of balanced and just have a good idea of what my whole life is going to be when it comes to tattooing. And I surround myself by great young artists, and I'm just building a ship that I want everyone to get on and just skyrocket. I am not selfish. I want other people to skyrocket more than I want myself to skyrocket, but I want to help do that, you know? So yeah, I mean, I know it's tough, man, but you're only a year in. You just keep at it and get around really good artists and keep getting better. I'm addicted, guys. I keep saying 2 more, and then I'm like, fuck, man. Martha, I'm going to answer your question. A, because you bought a badge, and B, because I'm going to answer your question. I love drawing, and I'm really particular, but what do you think it takes to become someone who loves the art of being able to tattoo? You just have to make the decision that you want to commit to tattooing. Before you start someone starts tattooing, they never think of themselves as a tattoo artist, right? It's only when you start to put the work in to become a tattoo artist do you start to feel like a tattoo artist. There's plenty of people that are even in the shop that some years ago, maybe they were doing lashes, maybe they were doing hair or whatever, never thought of themselves as a tattoo artist because you have a certain archetype that you view a tattoo artist as. Maybe you think of like the old school biker, the rough and tough person, the person who's been just doing tattooing so long that you don't see them as anything else but tattoo artists. If you decide that you want to pursue tattooing because it seems like a great path for you and it's a lucrative form of art, because a lot of other art paths are not going to be lucrative like that, but tattooing could be very lucrative and very fulfilling. You decide you want to do it. You put the work in. Maybe you try it out a little bit on your own. Once you feel like maybe this is something I want to pursue, you start pursuing the hard part, which is getting an apprenticeship or getting someone to teach you. Working in a shop as a manager and cleaning, paying your dues, getting to the point where you feel like I'm going to commit to this so hard, I'm going to have tunnel vision for the next 5 to 10 years, and it's going to change my life forever. Just make the decision, make the leap if that's what you want to do. I'm only going to answer a couple more, guys. If you want to drop some badges and some tips in the chat, I'm doing this for free, giving you guys free game. It would be dope if you guys showed some love back. Thank you to everyone who has bought badges already. I'm only going to answer, I know I said 2 more like 5 minutes ago, but I'm going to answer 2 more because it's really fun, and I want to make sure I get to all you guys. Dirtiest Worm asked, do you think tattooing can be a side gig or should it be a full-time thing? Tattooing should not be a side gig. If you do it as a side gig, you're never going to get anything out of it. Most of the people that have it as a side gig, they're doing a lot of things wrong. You got to think tattooing is involving people's well-being, their skin, their blood. You have to know how to professionally apply a tattoo to even do a bad tattoo. So if you really want to get anything out of anything, you really have to commit and get tunnel vision. Are you leaving? You got to get tunnel vision. Do not do it as a part-time gig. If you do it as a part-time gig, you're never going to be respected. You're never going to feel fulfilled in the industry. But I will say, if you commit to it in a full-time way, 100% it's fulfilling and it's worth it. You just got to commit. Do not do it as a part-time gig. This is not a hustle. It's a career and a lifestyle that could change your life forever. Okay. Josh Tats. I don't know if I'm saying that. Joss. Advice for someone who can't get into the social media aspect as far as posting. A lot of people have this problem. You're not the only one. But I don't want you to blame social media for your issues with social media. Like, oh, I fucking hate this bullshit that you have to do nowadays. I'm not really into it and stuff. Because all of that is coming from your own shortcomings or insecurities. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean there's certain areas that you have never had to develop in your character, in the way you articulate things, in the way you get comfortable and more secure with your voice and your face and your work, and just putting forth the effort into making content in a way that makes you feel like it's worth doing, and just learning how to have fun with it. You have to just like break through those barriers that you have. A lot of people have those same social barriers. It takes a lot to shed everything and just put your face and voice and work out there for the world to criticize. Because everyone on the internet will criticize the fuck out of you. They don't know you personally at all, but that's not the point. Instagram and social media is a tool, and it's only gonna work as good as you use it. A hammer, it can build a house, but only in the right hands, right? If you give a hammer to a toddler or someone that doesn't know what they're doing, a hammer is just a weapon or just useless, or a paperweight. But if you give it to someone that knows what they're doing, or it tries to figure out what they're doing, it could be very useful, and you could build an entire fucking community with one hammer. So think about it like that. Social media is a tool, like a hammer. If you learn how to use the hammer, you could build whatever the fuck you want with it. That's a big one. I like that. I fucking like that. Love you, Martha. Calvin Maryland asks, how do you feel about attending expos? Mindset, how to approach them. Expos is a big fucking deal for people that have already been tattooing for a long time, or if you just got into it. The tattoo expos is a way that you can go and feel the industry that you're a part of. Tattooing is not just you sitting in your corner of your shop, just head down, tattooing away your whole life and just trying to hype yourself up to be confident when you're really not even that good. You need to go touch the industry, feel it, feel the people in it. That's the only way that you could really feel it, is being at a tattoo expo or a convention. There's so many people out there that are trying to do and are doing the same thing you're doing. We're all trying to tattoo, be happy, and do better work, right? That only exists at conventions. And when you get to feel that and be around it, it's so inspiring. The way you get to network with people that you followed on Instagram for so long, you get to talk to them in person, it makes everything so real. You get to see different types of artwork, the history of tattooing, the OGs from back in the day, the new guys that are killing it now. And it's just so inspiring. It makes you want to go home and really do your best. So I always suggest that people go to expos to stay inspired, and go to them regularly. If you can, go to at least 2 a year, if not more. Even if you have a booth or not, it's really fun to walk around and just experience that environment, because it is, God, man, it's just so cool to be a part of an industry where everyone is just on the same page, and it's fucking awesome, man. I love it. Okay. All right. I think that's good, guys. I think this was a good live. We got a really good questions out of it. To everyone that bought a badge and sent the tip, thank you very much. I know there's a lot of you this time. This is only our second live doing these questions, and I think it works really well. I like the format. I like being able to hear direct questions from you guys for videos we post on Instagram. And yeah, look out for the coaching and the courses that will drop. We're gonna drop the link to join the waiting list soon, and if you join the waiting list, you will get some sort of discount or something out of it, right? We are trying to create a new archetype in tattooing that doesn't exist, and I want you guys to be there for it. We're gonna create an army of artists that know what it is to be happy in this industry and know how to live a fulfilled, balanced life, and just very healthy and strong individual. Whether you're male or female, you embody what that feminine and masculine balance is between your energies, and just understanding life in general is going to make you better at all your professions or anything you want to do. It doesn't even have to be tattooing. So when that drops, go ahead and join the waiting list. And I can't wait to start the program with you guys. They're going to be life-changing for many people. So thank you guys very much. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for the badge you just sent, Shaman the Rebel. Well, he tipped at the very end, so I want to answer his question. He said, Shaman the Rebel, what can I do to attract more clients? I already answered this a couple of times, man, but since you tipped, I'll answer it again. You need to be prolific with social media, showing your work, showing your process, not just your work, but your process, because a lot of potential clients want to get a taste of what it'll be like when they come and get tattooed by you. Like, how does he do stuff? What does he do to communicate with the client? How does he do a stencil? How does he place it? Like, how is this gonna work? When does he take his lunch? When does he, does he take breaks? Does he smoke? Does he not smoke? Does he not believe in that? So showing your process on social media, being prolific with it, and then also taking out ads on Yelp or Google ads is really helpful for people starting out because you're going to get a ton of leads that'll allow you to fill those spaces so you can get your reps in so you can get better. And as you get better, you get more clients. As you get better at social media, you're going to solidify the way you do things and get a solid foundation of followers that have been following you from the beginning. There's people that'll follow you from the beginning of your career to where you're at now for years and years and years and years. And I am a testament to that. There's many people that follow me that have been following me for 10 years, which is fucking awesome. So it's never too early to start the social media journey, even if you're not really that good yet. But just be prolific, man. Don't be scared to put yourself out there, show your process and stuff. And then don't be scared to dish out a couple $100s a month to drop some ads and get some local leads, because you'll get a lot of them, okay? So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.